Welcome to the Yankee and Canuck podcast, Best Picture Series, where we talk about all the Academy Award Best Pictures, past to present.
And I'm your host, a Yankee.
And I'm your host, a Canuck.
And today we're going to be talking about Around the World in 80 Days. This is a 1956 film and the 29th film to win Best Picture. So
Around the world, around.
Shut up.
Sorry.
Shut up. No, it's going to be stuck in my head all day.
In 80 days.
Damn it. Anyway, in this Academy Awards, this is the first one where all the major contenders were colored pictures.
Finally.
I know, right? Now we're in the age of color. It was the first year and the last until 1967. So yeah, color was starting to take over.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, now we're seeing a lot more color films, and a lot of these films, bigger budgets, a lot more widescreen, and which was big in the 50s. Been around already for a while, but I think the 50s really...
Yeah, a lot of fancy stuff was happening. Yeah, like this film is also special in a way where it was shot in 70 millimeter, thing called Todd AO. So it's a different kind of a filming process, and it was shot actually on 30 frames a second. They have to shoot with two different cameras, one for the 30 frames per second and one for 24 frames per second, which is more standard. And movies are still on 24 frames per second, I think. I think it's slowly changing now, but for the longest time, it's been 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this film won 5 Academy Awards, actually. I don't know what they are at the top of my head. I'm sorry.
I got it. We'll keep your line in there, and I'll...
Which one? So I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
I don't know what it does. It doesn't say on Wiki, too.
Goddamn Wiki. You f***ed us. You f***ed us.
It's the first time he's f***ing failed them.
I know. Okay, so it's screenplay, best picture, obviously. It's got to be like special effects, too, right?
Yeah, you're right. 5 awards. I mean, it won, obviously, Best Picture and Best Writing, Film Editing.
Best Music.
some
and some other bullshit. Best Cinematography because it's in color.
That's right. Look, when it comes down to it, I think the list was pretty weak this year. I mean, you have... Okay, here's what I'm going to say. There were so many good movies that were not nominated, as usual. So Godzilla King of the Monsters was out this year.
Hell yeah.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers was out.
That's a classic.
Neither of those got nominated. They're great movies, and I'm stuck with this.
Another one is The Searchers, John Ford's, which never got nominated.
Yeah, I think 10 Commandments came out this year as well, right?
Probably, and I think that's what's considered Cecil B. DeMille's like finest film, maybe his magnum opus. But of course, he already won Best Picture for The Greatest Show on Earth, so they can't give it to him now.
One thing about all these films, that film, 10 Commandments, this film, these all got huge budgets. The film we're going to be covering next, these are all really big budget films. In the 50s, they didn't,
They skimped on
some
the
of these
budget.
films we covered. Yeah, they used to be like $500,000, $750,000, $1 million. A lot of these are 8, 10, huge budget films for the time. And part of that, I think, is because production costs went up. Like you said, the filming changes, the styles, more color, more, so a lot more going into it. And I think they wanted to compete with TV. TV was, huge in the 50s, right? So
Yeah.
get people's, seats in the theater. And so they really kind of stepped it up.
They get their seats in the theater?
Get their butts in the theater, get their seats in the theater. Oops. And they get more seats. Oh,
People get their seats in the butts.
See, this is what happened when we film at night, and I haven't had enough caffeine. I'm coming off of caffeine.
I'm gonna leave this in there.
This is what happens. We don't usually record at night. And, my old ass needs to go to bed. No,
I'm actually drinking decaf right now.
oh man. But yeah, it was a big part. Many factors that the budgets went up for these films, and so they wanted to get more people back to the theater and keep them there forever.
I guess they want to get their butts in the seat, correct?
Exactly. That's exactly it. But yeah, like I was saying, there was all these other great movies that, it's how it always is, especially with sci-fi and horror. They never get the credit they deserve. So it's a shame. But here we are. This is Around the World in 80 days, and felt like a 80-hour movie. And
there's a lot to talk about, isn't there?
Yeah.
All right. Well, first things first. If there's a source material, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna do something with it. You know what I mean? Chuck it in the fire if I have to, which is tends to be the trend in anything that's based on a source material for this whole series.
We do not condone book barbecues on this channel.
No, we don't, unless it's absolutely necessary.
Sometimes it's a necessity.
In this case, it is based on a book. It's a book by a French author named Jules Verne. He's written...
Verne, yeah, very famous, yeah.
Yeah, he's written a bunch of stuff. He did, like, Journey of the Center of the Earth, right?
Correct.
And he also did 20,000 Leagues Under the Seas. But, yeah, it's based on that book. I never read anything from this guy before in my life. Yeah, but anyway, I read this damn book, and, first of all, this whole thing is an adventure, right? It's about this rich guy with his rich little French sidekick guy. They go on, the rich guy takes on a bet. He's like, hey, I bet I could go around the world in 80 days with modern transportation. Modern, that time was like, you know, steamboats and trains and whatever.
They're like, sir, would you like to make a bet?
Why, certainly I would like to make a bet. What do your terms?
This is all taking place at some club or something, you know.
A gentleman's club, yeah. And like the joke is like, no woman has ever set foot in a club. I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's we're skipping way ahead, but yes. It's one of those clubs. Yeah, so the rich guy makes a bet, like, I bet you, like, what was it, 20,000 pounds that I'll be able to do it within 40 days. And they're like, oh, you've got it, sir. And so he goes with his little sidekick. They go on the little tour.
80 days.
In 80 days. He's got to be within 80 days is what they approximated. And that's the film in a nutshell. And that's also the book in a nutshell. It's just this rich guy using most of his money to go on this little trip. And it's like the book itself reads like a little travel log, like a little travel diary.
Yeah.
It's as if Jules Verne did something similar, and he's just like, he wrote like a whole, and then I went to India and I saw this, and then I went to Japan and I saw this. I went to France. Well, he lives in France. I went to the USA and I saw the USA stuff. And I'm like, cool. And then I just like his friends read this thing and be like, this is really boring. He's like, you no, it's not. It's really super interesting. What if I change the name? What if I made myself Phileas Fogg? Go ahead. We don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. And then he released it.
And change the events too. He didn't see any of that. Let's be honest.
So he
just picked all these like stereotypical things. He's like, I saw this, I did this, I saw this, I did
oh
this.
My God, stereotypical. Holy crap. The book is really bad with that, and so is the damn movie. Yeah, so the book is really no different. And in the book, what's different is that what's famous, when you say around the world in 80 days, what's famous is that big hot air balloon, which is only really in the beginning of the film, right?
Yeah.
That is not in the book at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was reading and I was like, when's the hot air balloon coming? Where is it? And by the time I got to the end, I'm like, there's no hot air balloon. What the hell? And I looked up the wiki just in case I wasn't missing anything. And no, they're trains, steamboats, and at one point they're riding an elephant, which they do in the film too. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all the modes of transportation.
Train, steamboats, elephant, ostrich in one scene.
That's only in the movie too, I think. I don't remember no damn ostrich in the book, but
so there was no balloon, so this is when the eagle cast the book into the fire.
Book burn. Yeah, no. How dare you? No hot air balloon. Well, and I had to look it up. I'm like, did hot air balloons not exist? No, they existed back then. So I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah.
So evidently what happened was, because the way they were filming this thing, 70 millimeter is a really wide aperture lens and huge ass film stock. So when you see the picture, you see the film, it's magnificent. That's the main thing. That's the main takeaway of this film. It looks great because there's so much information on the screen. That's because they shot on a really wide format. And the primary reason why they chose a hot air balloon is because, like, well, we want a huge landscape views just to really show off this technology. So they wrote it in there. And then, what do you know? It became a very iconic moment in the film. And that's famously what people associate this thing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, yeah. And and that's really, I mean, there are other things in the film that are memorable, I think, but maybe for kind of the wrong reasons. But
yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think this would have been a great film to watch in theater back in the day. I'm sure of it.
Oh yeah.
It would have been a great experience for a lot of people, and so many scenes looked great, and there's a lot to look at. The sets, the costumes, the cinematography in general. You got to give credit where credit's due. Those are the things the film did right. and that's pretty much about it. But
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, when it comes to the extras, they used an ungodly number of extras to really make this come to life.
Yeah, the effort. I mean, the locations they went to, the amount of locations, the amount of extras, thousands and thousands of people.
Like at least over 10,000. There's a bull fighting scene because they're in Spain, and there's at least 10,000 people in that whole thing alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like so many, and they use so many elephants, so many bulls, so many monkeys, so many animals in general in this film. There's like a whole scene, like when they hit the, I think it's in California, they stop the train and all of these bison just come in, and you're just like, holy crap, that's a lot.
Yeah, there's some pretty good scenes like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's pretty massive in scope. And what's interesting too about this film is the way it's opened. They open with a scene from, I think that thing is called Journey to the Moon. It's the famous French movie where people board like a big bullet and it's shot into the moon and there's a face on the moon and the bullet hits the eye. That famous thing. And they mentioned that. Trip to the Moon, yeah, because at this point, this is 1956. Like the actual moon landing hadn't happened yet. It wouldn't be happening for another about less than 15 years from now, from the point of that film. So I
always think of not to interrupt you, but I always think of the music video of Tonight by Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, they use that imagery in the music video. I remember too.
Yeah.
That was my first Smashing Pumpkins music video, actually, now that I think about it.
Same, yeah, very memorable. Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. But anyway, yeah, they open up with that because that famous short film was actually loosely based on a Jules Verne book. And then they cut to
why was it in the film?
Because it was about travel and like how we're working on technology to make space travel popular, to make our modes of transportation quicker or something like that. I think that's the point of that. And plus to tie in the book author with another notable work by the book author.
Interesting. You really don't see that kind of thing in films usually.
No, not really. No,
once you're gonna watch this, but check this out first.
Yeah, exactly. Like I at first I was like, am I watching the right thing? And then because it started off with some dude. He was like a television or radio personality. He was like a news guy, news broadcaster. And then they open up with that. Then they open up with a rocket firing into space. Yeah, that's how the whole thing begins. And then you get to the whole betting thing. And then you see like him getting prepared for the trip. Then he goes on the trip. And a whole bunch of stuff happens after that.
It really is just going from point to point, and but you really covered the main plot, which is really about the bet, and then just random events that occur during the travels, and it's pretty much it. There's a little backstory of Detective Fix, right? He's trying to get Niven's character.
Yeah, because the whole
Phileas Fogg.
Exactly, the Phileas Fogg guy. That's because there's a man that stole 40,000 pounds from the Bank of England. So he kind of puts two and two together, be like, well, this rich guy has 40,000 pounds. I'm looking for a guy that stole 40,000 pounds. That's probably the guy. So he goes after him.
Yep. They got Van Belt from Jumanji in it. That's what he looked like.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're right. But also, like, it's in the book, too, that same plot thread.
Yeah.
And the little sidekick to Phileas Fogg is Passepartout, I think is his name. Passepartout. So in the book, he's a French guy, but in the movie, I think he's still supposed to be French, but he was played by a Mexican guy, a Mexican actor.
Yeah, Cantinflas, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He was a famous actor in Mexico and I think in Latin America. And I think a lot of people compare him to like Charlie Chaplin, and he's
100%.
Kind of a big comic and very well known, and so.
That was what I noticed because a lot of the antics in this film are because of this character. They're through this character. Yeah. And he has this very Charlie Chaplin way of walking at times and the way he dresses and stuff. So at first I was like, is he supposed to be like Chaplin? And then I've come to find out, yeah, he is, as you mentioned, as I looked it up later. And you also have Shirley MacLaine, who plays as Princess Aouda, I think her name is.
Yeah, she's an Indian princess.
Yeah, I think she's supposed to be Persian or something like that. I don't know.
No, Indian.
Yeah,
it's in India, so
well, I know it's in India. That's how they get her. But I think the character itself's supposed to be Persian. It's really weird. I don't know. I don't understand this. But yeah, Parsi. She's Parsi, Bombay Parsi.
Okay, so then Parsi. That's like Zoroastrian. Like they traveled from, I think, Iran. They were kind of expelled from Iran. They went to India. This long, 1,000 years ago.
This is where I got confused. They're descendants of Persian people, but yeah, okay. Yeah, but
descendants of Persian people, yeah.
Yeah, but they're not quite Persian.
Yeah, they'd be considered Indian, I think.
There you go. Well,
in this film, in the movie, I don't think it goes into that. Maybe the book it does. In the movie, it just says that she's like a Hindu princess or something. And they got the whitest actress they could find to play.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. It's so funny. Yeah, but it's funny too, because that whole sequence in which they go to save her, because what basically happens is that they're riding on elephants because they're trying to travel, and then in between they see like this cavalcade, let's say, of people just marching by, and they're like, who's that? Well, there's a guy, a king or something that just died, and that's their wife. They're going to sacrifice her alive. They sign up for this, but then one of the dudes is like, oh no, that's actually not true. They drugged her or something like that, so she's like held against her will, and they're going to burn her against her will. So they hatch this plan to save her. Yeah, then Phileas Fogg, the main character, is like, well, I must go and save her. And of course, he doesn't do shit. It's really the one of the guys who, whatchamacallit, he's the one of the guys on the elephants, the one who just like, what do you call it, like an entourage, I guess you could say?
Yeah. No, it was
or was it Passport?
Cantinflas. Yeah.
Okay.
He's the one who did it.
Oh, I thought it was the other.
They were trying to figure out a plan, and they had the general and he was like, I need 75 men to accomplish this. We can do this. And he's trying to be all strategic. And then Cantinflas, I forgot his character's name. Passport. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he just like dips out, and then the next thing you know, he's over there. And he basically has disguised himself as the king who perished or whatever.
Yes.
He's going to be cremated.
Then he rises and scares everyone. He's awake. Exactly. He's alive.
And then they rescue the princess, and
then she kind of tags along them,
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the same in the book, by the way. Because, like, really, when reading the book, it's a very uninteresting book. It's extremely boring. That is one of the very few, probably the only thing in the book that's actually interesting. I'm like, oh, finally, the adventure's beginning. But then once that stops, it stops being fun to read. It goes into really boring details about like, and then we had breakfast, and then we're in Timbuktu. Now we're going to Bombay. Now we're going here. Oh, the sun sets and rises here. I'm like, I don't care about any of this, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But anyway,
the movie, at least the movie, there's something to look at, and it's very colorful and vibrant. And, this is supposed to be an adventure comedy film. It's definitely kind of an adventure film, comedy. Yeah, I hardly found any parts funny. There was a couple scenes here and there, and mostly because of Cantinflas. But
yeah, he provides a lot of the comedy. David Niven, he's just there, I think. Like the only other film I've seen that guy in is Casino Royale.
Yeah, it's James Bond himself.
Yeah, and we're obviously talking about the Daniel Craig one. Yeah,
people would be like, Daniel Craig? Well,
no, the one that came out in '67, right?
Yeah, 67 movie. Peter Sellers is in it. So, yeah, David Niven, he's been in a bunch of stuff. Pink Panther. He was in Guns of Navarone. That's a big movie with Gregory Peck.
There you go.
Much better than this movie. And so...
also, there are a lot of cameos in this thing, too.
Yeah. I will say one thing about Niven real quick. He's a pretty good actor. In this film, not so much. Like, he's okay. He plays the part, but it's really nothing special. It's pretty much a bland, boring, sophisticated Englishman.
Yeah,
you got it. That's what you get. And it's fine. It works, but
it's about as sterile as you can make it.
Yeah. A fun fact about him was he was actually in World War II, and he's a vet and was at the Battle of Normandy.
That's not too surprising. We're still in the era where a lot of these dudes are, how can I put this, not dead yet. So
yeah, but yeah, like you were saying, a lot of cameos. That's a big thing about this film, and people always try to see how many cameos, who else is in it. Like that was a big thing back in the day.
I got a whole list here.
I don't think I recognize that many Frank Sinatra and Buster Keaton.
It's so funny to see Frank Sinatra again. Frank Sinatra. This is like the third time. From Here to Eternity, he won Best Supporting Actor. On the Waterfront, he was like supposed to be the main character, Terry, right? Then he got booted. in favor of Marlon Brando. Now he's a cameo in this. I'm like, bro, what the?
What's the point, honestly? I mean, he
I
has
don't
no
know.
speaking lines in this. He's just playing the piano for a minute. He looks at the camera, and that's it.
He just winks. Hey, I don't think he winks, but he might as well have winked.
He smiles, I think. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think he just smiles. Well, you have Red Skelton's in this. George Raft is in this. Buster Keaton's in this.
yeah, Buster Keaton plays a train conductor.
Exactly. Yeah.
He has lines.
Yeah, he has a few lines here and there. It's just like
This film probably came out definitely towards the end of his life. I think he
died about 10 years later.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know he passed away in the 60s for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So it is pretty cool to see Buster Keaton. Buster Keaton is a very famous silent film actor. He's like probably one of the more famous ones to use really daring, stunts in his films. Because when other people did it, like Charlie Chaplin did it a little bit, and so did Frank Lloyd, or was it Lloyd? The guy, what's his name? He's got Lloyd in his name.
Christopher Lloyd?
Christopher Lloyd. Harold Lloyd. Harold Lloyd is
Harold
in it.
Lloyd. Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Harold Lloyd is also another one that's done his own stunts and things of that nature.
He was a comic too, right?
I believe so, yes. But Buster Keaton is considered like one of the best in this craft, so it was kind of cool to see him in this film.
Yeah.
But yeah, we go India, Spain, Japan, Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And then we're on the sea, we're in the air via the hot air balloon. Yeah, then we get to the US, and they just travel by train, and then finally it's a race to get to England to win the bet. Oh no, Inspector Fix found him. They threw him in jail. Oh boo-hoo, turns out he was the wrong guy. It was another dude this entire time. That's the spoiler there. That's the big reveal. Ooh, it's some other dude who robbed the bank.
Ridiculous. I was like, that's it?
Yeah. And then he gets released, and he's like, hi, my fellows, I think I lost the bet. I will not make it in time. It's already been 80 days. And then they go back to his pad. They're just chilling. It's not until Passepartout gives him the newspaper. It's like, dude, it's like 79 days. Time zones, they work kind of differently from how you imagine them to work. And then they were like, oh, we must go. And they only have 10 minutes left to reach the little country club thing. He gets there right on the dot, right on the second, and he wins the bet. The end. That's the film.
That's it. There's one thing I was thinking about. The bet, I think, like you said, it was 20,000 pounds or whatever it was. The amount of money he spent during this trip. I mean, did he even make anything? Or he lost money?
And
I don't think it said, but
I think in the book he spent like
if you add it up, he's like, there was 5,000 or 10,000 for the boat at the end. There were all these other expenses that he incurred in Spain and India and Hong Kong and Yokohama. And I mean, how much money did he make in the bet?
I don't know. I think they matched his bet. So you add it all up. He's really rich. This is an 1873 movie. This is 1873 money, so I'm sure it's a lot of money in today's day and age.
But 20,000 was the bet, and I'm pretty sure he spent more than that traveling. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. In the book, he spent like close to 40,000 pounds. Like pretty much his whole fortune. Just for this stupid bet.
Great bet. Good job, dude.
I know. Well, he won, so he got all his money back and then some.
Well, if he made 20 but spent 40, then no.
Well, because it depends on how the bet was structured. You know what I mean? So I assume that they matched his bet.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they... I don't remember what the detail they went into. At the end, they definitely don't go into any detail. It just ends and...
Yeah.
Like, I made it in time. And
I just assumed they matched his bet. I mean, I don't know how else they would have done it. But this is in pounds, so I don't know how pounds would work. But $20,000 is worth about $500,000. So he probably got millions of dollars equivalent by winning the bet, is what I assume.
Maybe, yeah. That's not the way I see it, but maybe you're right. Yeah, I don't know.
That's my guess. I mean, we could look a little deeper into this thing. Let's ask ChatGPT.
Why bother?
In around the world in 80 days.
How much money did Phileas Fogg?
How
much did he end up winning from the bet?
Let's find out. Thinking longer for a better answer. Okay. He wins 20,000 pounds. Blah, 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 blah. He wagers 20, and when he succeeds, he wins back 20. Are you kidding me?
Wow. So he didn't win anything.
He didn't win anything. What?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wait.
Because he spent so much money.
So you mean to say He didn't win more money?
Yeah. So he won the bet. It's just there was nothing.
Right, he only won back
Yeah.
exactly what he wagered. Wow, what a waste of time. Well, maybe that's not a waste of time. He got a whole experience out of it. I mean, that's a very valuable thing.
That's true. That's true. Whole experience. Got married too at the end, or he's going to.
Yes, he marries the princess and all that.
Countries and yeah, I guess you could look at it that way. So
yeah, he marries her in the book too. Whoopie dippy, it's whoopie skippy dippy.
Yeah.
Let's find out what the equivalent of that is, since it's in pounds. Oh my god, that's worth 2.9 million pounds, which is about $3.9 million. No way he spent. Actually, you know what? He probably did spend that much. Thinking about all the crazy things he did in that trip, because he had to buy the whole He bought the whole hot air balloon. Like
he bought the boat at the end.
Yeah, so that's
and he stripped the boat down too. I mean, that people have that cost. There's cost for that too.
That's a pretty penny. Yeah, so yeah, now that I think about it, it is conceivable he wasted that much money on this trip. What a crazy son of a bitch. Wow. Well, when you really think about it on those terms, yeah, this is a crazy book. I get it didn't really impress me that much reading it. Watching it was fun to watch because there's like, and when they're in Spain, there's a lot of tap dancing and they do like the Spanish dancing and whatever. And the bullfighting.
The bullfighting. And I mean, one of the issues I have is the film is too long. And a lot of these scenes are way too long. Way too long.
Oh yeah, it's like 3 hours long. That's crazy.
I mean, we were talking about Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, right? Recently, not in a podcast, and how The Hobbit should not have been 3 films, right? A lot of people complained about that because the novel, you've read it, I haven't.
Yeah.
It's not a very lengthy novel. The film,
it's a pretty short book,
added so much unnecessary filler. I bet this movie around world, this is where Peter Jackson got the idea from. He's like, I'm gonna
make it ludicrously long. I don't know, because like the book is, I can't say it's very long either. I think it's more or less a 200, 300 page book, maybe 400 pages. But at the same time, it was a very, very brisk read because there were a lot of illustrations, at least in the edition that I read. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like it didn't feel like an epic when I was reading it. And then it felt more like an epic watching the film because there's so much stuff to watch and there's so many extras, so many costumes, as you mentioned. It just felt like a big bombastic production. They spent like the equivalent of, I don't know what the equivalent is, but they spent $6 million on this picture.
That's a lot. Yeah. That's a huge budget for back then.
Yeah. But you know how much they got back, right?
I think they got back like 80 or 90 million or something. Right?
Well, split in half and you're right. 42 million.
42 million.
Yeah. So they got a lot back. So as you mentioned in the beginning, this probably incentivized studios to spend more because they were like, okay, you got all this competition coming in. Let's make our productions as extravagant as possible just to get more people flooded in the theaters to watch our stuff and setting the trend that is still a thing in Hollywood. I think now, like what that Avengers Doomsday movie, that's like $400 million or something, $350 million.
Yeah, I believe that.
Something crazy like that. Like, I mean, I could
that. Plus, that's not even including marketing.
Oh my God, not even close. Yeah, and half of that budget's going to Robert Downey Jr. By the way.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of people are getting paid. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's actually rumored that the thing is like $1 billion budget. No way, that's real.
No, maybe $500 million probably.
Yeah, probably 500 million. This is going to probably be a massive film. Anyway, we're going on a tangent. Around the World in 80 Days. We're back in the 50s. Yay, we saw the film.
You know, the Acolyte ended up costing like 300 or something.
Don't ever bring up that ever again. By the way, guys, check out our series. We reviewed the whole Acolyte. Oh my God. I just PTSD flashbacks.
Yeah. It's unbelievable how much money goes into some of these things.
Yeah, I wonder where all that money actually went.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, I'm sorry, allergies.
Yeah. But I gotta say, with this film, once again, visually good. I wish that the movie's, the 50s, right? So, and it takes place in the 1870s. And, I wish that all these places we went to, it wasn't just stereotypical stuff. I wish we saw more of. It would have been nice to see more different things. If they remade this movie, I think it would be much better. Although, at the same time, why watch it when you can just watch a quality travel documentary or something? And
Yeah.
there's a plethora of those out there. So, because I would have liked to see more, other things, not stereotypes. I want to see actual culture and food and things when you're traveling. This was just like,
Yeah, I mean, this was just like a mishmash of different cultures, what people think different cultures are like, and just for the sake of traveling.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's traveling for the sake of traveling. I mean, if you want to see something with more class, watch a James Bond film. You go around the world in those films.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like that.
There was a lot of issues with the film. I mean, it is a very dated film. It's obviously riddled with stereotypes and it's ridiculous. I mean, the stuff in India, a lot of it ridiculous. The stuff in Spain, it's like, yeah, the bullfighting. That's the only thing. That's all you got.
Oh, but they also jump on tables and dance.
You think that's all they do in Spain? Like, really?
Evidently
like,
so. Everyone wears a kimono in Japan. Everyone wears those little hats in Hong Kong. What do you call them?
It's like the rice hat.
The rice hats, yes.
And and then the Native Americans, First Nations portrayal, like all the Sioux, right? All the savages, and also why are they? It takes place in the 1870s. I know this is me knowing history and stuff, but why are the Native Indians using axes and bow and arrows and stuff? Like they all had guns.
Because they're Indians.
Not the 1570s where they didn't have firearms. It was 1870 takes place,
and
so they weren't using bows and axes.
Some of those people
mostly all guns.
Some of those people were also white. I could tell. So
yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, it was so funny. It's just. I like that one line though. Like they stopped the train. They're like, "Why'd you stop the train? Because of Indians." Don't worry, they're peaceful Indians. You could tell by the peace pipes they're smoking. That's really racist, but it's also really funny.
Oh yeah, they show a scene too. The chief is taking a hit, and
yeah, they're just outside chilling.
He's like, "This is good shit." And trying to pass it. Pass. Come on.
Exactly, and then the bad Indians, quote unquote, come in and they wreck the train later. So yeah, all that stuff happens.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, a lot of these films at that time, and even after that, and before that time too. I mean, there's been some extremely inaccurate, and ridiculous stereotypes used when it comes to foreign countries and certain people, and so they do it for whatever various reasons, whether it's for narrative purposes or commercial reasons.
And ultimately, it's what causes Marlon Brando to refuse his Best Actor Oscar for The Godfather because of depictions like these.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly.
Yeah, fun fact. But anyway, we talked quite a lot in generalities about the film. I mean, it's one of those things where you're just like, oh my god, is this ever going to end? Then it finally ends. Then you look back at it and you're just kind of like, well, this and that were fun. I mean, if you want a fun adventure film with some racial stereotypes that are offensive, a really bland British actor doing bland British things and his goofy Mexican sidekick, I mean French sidekick, this is the film for you. Me, I probably give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, we already, we've covered it many times in terms of the movie being visually striking, the amount of work behind it, the locations, the sets, costumes, a massive movie, right? But it's dated, it's too long. Yeah, maybe worth watching once, just visually. But now, are you going to expect a good story, a rich plot, any character development? No, you're not getting any of that. Don't hold your breath. So this movie does lack a lot, and for this reason, I'm out. No.
Yeah, I mean the only other thing to talk about now is the remake Around the World in 80 Days with Jackie Chan.
Oh yeah, that's not even this film is just the acting isn't even there. The soundtrack, okay. There's some places there it works, but I mean I don't want to ever have to hear Rule Britannia ever again. I mean they played that song like 30 times in this film.
Oh my god, I know, because I was just like, they keep playing this song. I know what it is. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, Rule Britannica. I was like,
Britannia, yeah.
I was like, stop
Britannia
playing it.
Rules the waves.
Yeah, they also played this song that sounded like it was from Cinderella, the Disney film.
There's a few melodies that are catchy and some old tunes and.
Oh, they straight up ripped it off. I could have sworn I had to look it up, and they didn't, as far as I'm aware. But it's that song that goes do 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 do, and I was just like, "Is this is love?" Do 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 do. The Cinderella song.
Yeah.
I was like, "Did they steal? Is this a Disney film?" And it's not. It's a United Artists picture, and I'm like, "Did they just steal the song?" Because the Cinderella came out 6 years prior to this film. No, I don't know. Just throwing it out there. But yeah, they played the same music over and over again. I was going to go insane. It's a 3-hour film. Just come on, man. Yeah. Can we have a little more variety here? They blew all their budget on the costumes and the elephants and shit. We're like, we only have enough budget for 3 songs. Go.
They had a $6 million budget. Yeah, I mean, that's. But at least the animals, the costumes, all that, the sets on location, that all worked out great. And it really, that part of the film visually, everything else. Lacking. I mean, lacking for depth, or there's definitely a lack of substance and depth in this movie, which is a problem. But great for production. I mean, for production, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. But overall, for this film, I gotta give it a 5.5.
5.5. You're a tad more generous than me.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for such a great production, it wouldn't even be at that.
Oh yeah, it'd be like they did that or something. Yeah, it's entertaining enough. I mean, like, it could be worse. I mean, certainly the book wasn't very entertaining. The film is more entertaining, I feel. So it's just like, you could do worse. And we've seen worse, by the way.
Definitely, that's true. That's a good point to make. That this isn't by one of the worst films we covered for this series. I don't know if I'd put it
middle of the road.
It's not in the middle, but it's kind of not at the middle, but below that. But it's not right at the bottom.
Yeah, it's not rock bottom, but it's not upper echelon best films we've seen yet. But, But anyway.
Grand Hotel is better. No, it's
Grand Hotel is better? All right, we're done here. That's it. We're closing shop. I cannot work with this moose. He is unreasonable. No.
He's lost his damn mind.
He's lost his goddamn mind. Anyway, guys, that is Around the World in 80 Days. For the next film... this is a film that the Moose already saw ahead of time because he thought this was the next one we were talking about, but it wasn't.
It's true. I made a little mistake. I was like, I'm ready to record. And I found out it was the wrong film. I jumped to 57.
He time jumped to 57. But I personally never seen this film. But of course, I've read the book already ahead of time. But we're going to talk about that next time.
That's right. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.